Welcome back. You're watching Young Turks, the show that puts the spotlight on young entrepreneurs. Now, Budget 2012 was presented by Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee, and it has disappointed not just corporate India but also young startups. The Finance Minister proposed that the government will treat all individual investments, which includes genuine angel money in a company, as income from other source. They will now be subject to a tax of 30%. So this is a new startup tax that's been imposed and will be effective from the 1st of April 2013. This is not a bad April Fool's joke. Let's take a look at what India's prominent serial investors have to say about this nasty budget surprise.
Development in the manufacturing sector.
Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee's proposal to tax angel investments in Budget 2012 could prove to be a death blow for startups. The taxman can now levy a tax if the amount invested is in excess of the face value. But the problem is that the fair market value has to be substantiated to the satisfaction of the assessing officer, leaving it open to the taxman's discretion.
The challenge here is a provision which says that if you make an investment in a company and value it higher than it would have said fair market value, the balance money would be taxed in the hands of a company. Now that becomes a disaster, because when you invest in a startup, there is only the value that the entrepreneur thinks and the investor thinks. It may have no assets, it may have no intellectual property. You value the team, you value what they've done before, you value what that idea might be. And so, in essence, you end up treating investment as income and you tax it. And this will essentially mean that no angel investors will make investments. There are going to be provisions where you can question the tax assessor's view, but which angel investor wants to get into all that mess? It's easier to just put your money in a mutual fund. And also for the tax assessor, it would be impossible for that person to really understand how a startup gets valued in terms of what's the value of a team, what's the value of the space, in the internet business, on e-commerce. It just opens a very big Pandora's box.
So not only will we see local funding dry up, but even money from abroad, especially from the NRI community that forms 20% of the Indian angel network, will be hit. Second, the legislation will not just affect angel investments, but venture capital funds as well, claims Sanjeev Agarwal of Helion Advisors.
For us, it will continue to be business as usual. What will get impacted is that a lot of companies which got created by angel investors and then came to us for funding to grow their business further, that pipeline will dry up. So I think the feeder element to our business, I think that is the one that is getting impaired by this notification.
The move, if implemented, may lead to structural overhaul where startups might start registering overseas, or angels look at registering with SEBI as venture capital funds. Both moves will have their own complications. So what could be the possible solution?
So there is a pretty simple solution to this. You must understand that today's politicians and kickbacks don't happen at the 5-10 crore level. You know, all the politicians are much bigger than this. So here's what I suggest. For the first 5 or 10 crores, let it happen. Don't let this tax apply there. Beyond that, then let it apply to any kind of level beyond that. So let angel investing, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crores, let that happen. And to get the politicians, put the limit at 10 crores or solve it different ways. Don't try to just solve your political problems by killing entrepreneurship.
Well, given the government's poor fiscal health, it's unlikely that the finance minister will make any changes. We certainly hope he does. On that rather unfortunate note, it is time for us to wrap up this special episode on Young Turks. As always, send us your comments, your feedback and your suggestions to youngturks@network18online.com. If you're a budding or an aspiring entrepreneur, we would love to hear your startup story. So leave us a post on our Facebook page and also watch out for news and highlights of our show. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is Shireen@YT. You You can also catch our show online on youngturks.in.com. Until next week, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.